strangers. We were strangers. We were strangers wandering home. We were strangers. We were strangers. Sit a while, watch the moon sink lightly into your glow. With the lights up, two bodies were float. We were strangers wandering home. Sit a while, watch the moon sink lightly into your glow. With the lights up, two bodies were float. We were strangers wandering home. We were strangers. We were strangers. We were strangers. We were strangers wandering home.
Tia, thank you for coming on The Right Note.
Thanks for having me.
Now, obviously, you played acoustically for us then.
Yeah.
But your album, Thick Skin, is more electric and
Yeah.
it's kind of got a bit of a dream pop vibe.
Yeah.
But acoustically is where it started for you, isn't it? Just you and an acoustic guitar years and years ago?
Yes. So when I was about 7, I'd just seen Taylor Swift live.
Yeah.
So once I saw her, I'm like, Mum and Dad, like, I want to be her. So they brought me a cheap guitar off eBay because we lived on an island at the time, so there was like no music store or anything. And then I just taught myself pretty much. And I got some lessons at school, but yeah, I've just been playing guitar since I was 7 and singing since I could talk. So
Right.
yeah.
And Taylor Swift, one of the first songs you learned?
Yes, Love Story.
Right.
Love Story was my thing. I remember just seeing it on the country music channel like all the time when she first came out, and I was just so obsessed with her.
And what do you remember of the show?
The Taylor Swift show?
Yeah.
Well, it was at CMC Rocks the Snowies, so like we were down in Thredbo, and it was like my first like music festival like thing. But I just remember it was her first time over in Australia, and she was still in that blue sequin dress with like
Yeah.
the really curly hair and her like silver guitar.
Okay.
And that's all I remember. And I also remember that I won like tickets to like meet her, but I never got them. And
Oh,
so I was
no.
really devastated. But it was good. It was good.
And you mentioned the islands. That's Groot Island that you grew up on.
Yeah.
What was that like to grow up on?
It was so lovely. I lived in a like smaller town called Corumba before then, but I can only really remember living on Groot Island as a kid. So I moved to Mackay in 2010, so I was there up until I was about 10, 11.
Okay.
But it was beautiful. Like it was such a small community. It was like, it's also an Indigenous island, so I was also around that quite a lot. My mum worked in the land council, and so I was around that culture all the time as well. And like every weekend we'd go like fishing or on day trips, or like you could walk to the other side of the island and go and see your friend. Like it was beautiful. It was a really lovely place to grow up, and I'm so glad I did. It was
Yeah.
just amazing. It was a whole different experience.
Yeah. How do you think it informed who you are today?
I think it's made me a lot more aware of like different cultures, obviously, and I do have that knowledge and experience with that. Musically, I'm not sure how that has contributed to me yet. I wasn't around music a lot when I was there. Yeah, it was mainly just me just teaching myself and playing to my parents, like making them sit in the lounge room and watch me. Yeah.
So where were you hearing music? Was it from your parents' record collection?
Well,
or
I've always, like, there's always been music on in our house. Like, I grew up on, like, some, like, really, like, I grew up on, like, Garth Brooks and Tim McGraw and, like, the Dixie Chicks. Like, that was, like, what my parents were playing. And, yeah, we just always had the country music channel on when I was a kid. Like, I can't remember not listening to music. But my parents cannot play an instrument to save their life or sing. So I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I've always been around it.
Yeah, okay. And you actually started playing country music festivals when you were quite young as well. When you were 10, is that your first?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I first moved to Mackay.
Right.
I wasn't sure how to, like my parents knew I wanted to play music, but they just weren't sure what way to go about it. And being so young, like you don't know what to really do other than put your kid in music lessons or something.
Yeah.
But I think we met somebody and they So like there's these country music festivals that you can go and do. So like we travelled all around Queensland, like to Charters Towers and like all these different places, and I would compete on weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole different just a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Like you spend like 3 days at this music festival and like you rehearse these songs, and then you get up on stage and you have like your Nashville charts there that the bands play your songs to, and yeah, it's really cool. It was
Right.
really cool, and it definitely helped me with my confidence and my performance. And,
Yeah.
super grateful for it.
Big learning curve, I imagine.
Oh yeah, there were plenty of tears, because I was so alternative compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
I was singing alternative country music songs, and they were used to like I said, like Garth Brooks, Tim
Yeah.
McGraw, like all that kind of stuff, and I came in and started singing like almost Mumford and Son kind of stuff, and
Okay.
they weren't sure how to take it. So
Okay.
yeah, I did conform a little bit, but then I'm just like I can't sing these songs, like it's just not me. So yeah, I didn't get very far on them, but
Right.
it definitely, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate what it taught me.
Yeah. Did you ever play any originals at those festivals?
Yes, I did. They had a singer-songwriter section, and I remember I actually played my first single, State of Art, at one of them, and I think I might have come second or something. I can't remember. I
Okay.
never won. I won a never won one section. That's what I won.
You won a never won section?
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's just like a section for people that never win anything. So I won that. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a good, I guess that's
I
a
don't
good
know
thing.
if it's a good thing or not.
So State of Art, because that was the song, I suppose, that really
Yeah.
brought you to a lot of people's attention through Triple J. So how old were you when you wrote that?
I think I was 15 or 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty young.
Yeah, and by that time you were playing in pubs around Mackay
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Which also sounds like, that must have been a big learning curve too.
Yeah, a lot of resilience with those. I started playing when I was about 12,
Yeah.
like every Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah. What did you see in those pubs? Because I imagine that some of the pubs in Mackay may not be
rough.
the best place
Yeah,
for it.
for a 12-year-old
12-year-old?
girl. The ones that I started off at, like, were fine. Like, my parents were always with me. Like, they obviously had to be. But yeah, like, as I got older, the later shows I played, so, like, sometimes I'd start at, like, 10 and finish at, like, 2 in the morning as, like, a 15, 16-year-old. So, like, obviously you'd see things that you weren't used to.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad my dad was always there.
Yeah.
Which was good. But it definitely made me a lot more resilient, as I said, because
Yeah.
sometimes I'd be sitting in, like, the corner of a pub and nobody would respond. Like, they'd just be, like, the regulars, like, sitting at the bar, like, watching, like, the horses racing and, like, not caring. So,
Yeah.
like, you'd just be playing and you'd finish and you'd be like, all right, thanks. But,
So
yeah.
did you develop any techniques to try and grab their attention?
I guess, like, as I got older, I did. It's very daunting.
Yeah.
It is very daunting sitting there and playing to nobody. And but yeah, I think as I got older, I learned how to handle it better. And it's definitely helped me now with dealing with people and, like, especially meeting people after shows. And, like, you don't know how to handle situations. I can kind of get myself out of those easily, which is nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And so what's happening to your schoolwork at the time of when you're playing in pubs and
I
playing
think-
until 2 a.m?
I think I was really lucky. Like, I was just a person that I didn't have to put in a lot of effort to pass my classes. So, like, I would finish them, like, my assignments, like, the night before.
Right.
And I'd be okay. But, like, school was never... I'd want to get good marks, but it was never, like, a main priority for me.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
kind of wanted to pass and do all right. But my teachers, I don't think they realised that this was, like, a career that I wanted to be doing, and they
Yeah.
were always, like, on me for my schoolwork. Like, Tia, you could be getting A's and A+. Like, yeah, but I don't really want to be. Like, it's not... I'm focusing on other things.
Yeah. So you knew really early on.
Yeah. I feel like I've known since I picked up the guitar.
Okay.
Like, it's just... I've never had my sights set on anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
So does that, when it came time to make your debut album,
Yeah.
to make Thick Skin, did that feeling, was there a lot of pressure, like a lot of self-inflicted pressure that you sort of put on that moment? It sounds like the kind of thing you've been working towards for quite a while.
It kind of was not as stressful as I thought it would be. Like, to start off, I didn't go into it thinking I was making an album. Like,
Right.
I didn't sit down and be like, I'm going to make an album, this is what's going to happen, these are the songs. I just had a conversation with my managers and they're like, I think we should make an album. And at first I was a bit hesitant because I'm like, shouldn't we do, like, an EP first or something instead of, like, jumping straight into it? But it's been a pretty painless process, I guess. Like
Okay.
the recording and writing and all that's
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah, because we didn't go in and just record it all. It was like in like 3-month blocks where I'd write a couple of songs and then we'd go in and record them.
Okay.
So it's been spanned out over the past 2 years, which is nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you hear a difference in some of the material that was 2 years old
For
compared
sure,
to?
for sure. The state of art is so folky compared to like Outer Space or something. Like
Yeah.
they're so different, but I think it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in terms of Phone Me,
Yes.
which is one of the songs we're going to hear,
Yeah.
what do you remember of writing that?
I was at a songwriting camp actually when I wrote that. So that was a co-wrote between me and 3 other guys, and it was the most fun I've had writing a song.
Oh, cool.
It was my first experience working with people from the States as well. So the producer was a guy from LA, and then there was another songwriter there that was from Nashville. And it was just really cool to see their techniques and how they thought and like how they think about the whole process. And Phone Me was just so fun to write. It was like we started off with like a synth pad and then some beats, and then it just kind of just eventually grew and it just turned into this huge song. And I had the best time ever, like laying it down, like the demo. It was so fun. And at the end of it, like everybody from the songwriting camp came into like the main room and we all just like sat there and like listened to it on repeat. And everyone's like, "This is a banger." Yeah, it's pretty good.
So
Yeah.
did that change the way that you wrote songs, that you've written songs since then?
I don't know if I've written a song since then, to be honest.
Maybe it will.
Maybe it
whenever
will.
you get round to it.
Maybe it will. I definitely do take things from sessions like that. I
Okay.
do like to implement what I've learned from other people, and because I don't have a specific way I write. It just happens, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is really cool to learn how other people process things.
Yeah. And one thing I thought was really interesting is that you formed your own record label
Yeah.
to release the album.
Yeah.
Have you always had sort of a DIY mentality to what you do?
I think I learned that off my parents. They're very, like they had me very young, and they've been like the ones that have made everything happen. Like they were so young when they had me, and I forget that. And like to see where they are now, like what I'm doing, is pretty insane. Like I feel like it's just cool that they're still together, you know, like
Yeah,
being
yeah.
so young. And then I just think that they're always trying to make me and my brother like not work for what we're getting, but like always make sure that we know we're in charge, like we're the boss, we are the ones that direct where we want to go, and you should have your own say, I guess. And I think the topic came up and my parents were like, why don't we create you a label so you can release your music, that way you are in charge and you have a say in what you want to do. And it just happened from that, I guess.
Yeah.
And eventually I do want to sign people to it. I think I'd want to go and sign regional artists because I am from very regional areas,
Yeah.
and I know how hard it is to break into the scene. So yeah, anything I could do to help, I guess.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great lesson to learn as well.
Yeah, it is.
Excellent. All right. Well, Tia, thank you very much for coming on the show again.
Thank you for having me, Rod.